traveler said. You sailed in here. Where's your boat? Friend, you need a boat. Go see the builder in the caves. Tell them I'm sorry I never came back. The stranger had blazed their own path. Created their own rock, their own islands. They did not need Ember's kindness. But still, Ember stayed. Building a bridge should it ever be needed. The stranger met Ember's eyes. The two shared a moment of silence. Barely visible through the murky water was and on a small pier with barely a sound, a lonely fisherman sat. The ghost said, "Speak and I will listen." Step backwards, little Ember, look behind. Upon a small grassy cliff rests a forlorn. The Ember was curious. I'm headed for the crook. I've heard there's a nest there. A safe place. The fisherman murmured quietly between soulful breaths. The fisherman felt so useless. His former joys were hollow. Sitting out there every day by the pond. Only the dark water to hear him talk. In that darkness, a glimmer flickered. A thought beating like a drum. A thought that went round and round. It all started with the frog. Every day by the pond, a constant reminder. For a brief moment, the fisherman struggled to speak. He looked at Ember, hopeful. The fisherman spoke softly. They saw him grow from a tadpole, spent every day side by side. So much better at fishing than me, that frog. Catches them before I can bait them. Oh, it makes me feel useless some days, the fisherman sighed. I've wasted so much time feeling like this. The old man looked carefully at the pond, at their well. Listen to me. It helps though, telling someone. Thank you. If you need help catching anything, you just ask. The fisherman noticed the broken net Ember was carrying. Let me have a look. See what I can do. With a silk thread, the fisherman carefully knotted it together. With each knot he tied, a net began to form. Here you go, good as new. Poor little worms. But how do you fish without one for me, one for the fishes? Slurp 'em down. They say catching a fish isn't the point. So I tell myself that a lot. I chased old Blue Betty round this pond for years. Best days of my life catching that fish. Had to use myself as bait. Stuck on me head ever since. You saw the frog? You asked the frog about me. Actually, please don't tell the frog how much I talk about them. If you need help catching anything, you just ask. If you need help catching anything, you just ask. The frog stared at Ember, its belly rumbling. This was not how Ember had imagined the end. The gurgling of water, a deafening heartbeat. But then... the folk returned Ember's good deed by leading them to a lost forlorn. The wanderers die of it. Unfamiliar trees, a path overgrown. Is this a resting place? A place between places? I call out, but mine is the only voice. The stranger spoke. You look, there's a cook in the swamp. Makes a broth like you wouldn't believe. Keep telling them that it doesn't taste right. They'll keep giving you more. The stranger stood alone. Their friends have fallen aside, retreating from what came next. The stranger had ventured on. Now they were deep in the woods. It felt so pointless. The stranger spoke hesitantly. Is the campfire crowded? Let me gather myself. I'll see you there. The ghost said, "Speak and I will listen." Step backwards, little Ember. Look behind. Upon a small grassy cliff rests a forlorn. Ember found the Wanderer's diary. The oily smell of frogs. They know more than they will say. They watch me watching them. The key was nestled between, but it was just out of reach. The old gate was locked. Ember placed the key in the lock and slowly began to turn it. The stranger gasped for breath. Dark water slipping above their head. The sea didn't care if they sank or swam. Slowly the tides ebbed, washing over old walls. A safe harbor emerging from the inky depths. Ember reached out a hand. The stranger looked down. The ground feels good beneath my feet, friend. The traveler spoke. You ever had roast frog? I miss a good roast frog. Oh, how they crackle. The stranger had been forgotten. They tried to follow as best they could. But no one heard them when they fell behind. The stranger looked at Ember with surprise. Someone came back for me. Thank you. The ghost said, "You have done all you can, little one. Little one, your journey ahead will not be easy. The path to leave this place is blocked. I will guide others to follow after you clear the way." There are others like me who you will always be welcome here in the forest. The stranger said thoughtfully, "I felt so alone." With tears, the stranger said, "I had forgotten what warmth the stranger spoke. My head feels clear for the first," the stranger said. "Thank you for being so kind." The stranger thought, "I feel ready to move on." The stranger said, "Take care of those you care about them." The stranger whispered, "Be kind to yourself." Once again, Ember could feel eyes watching. Ember approached the forlorn, but felt it. They said, "I know what I need to do. I don't want to be." Ember could not help. Not all problems were puzzles to be solved. Ember uncovered a journal entry. Dusk brings the longest shadows. The lanthorn comforts me. Soft melodies from home. The wild things listen. Yellow eyes in greying trees. Do you know where we are? I've been walking forever, lost in the marsh. The two travelers were talking. Yeah, I got so lost. Why go anywhere else? Yeah. The birds scare me though. The guard joked. Another scrawny Ember, and with a bag looking all nicely in. Both guards started looking at Ember with a deathly The guard leered. The Forest King would like... Yes, come a little closer. Let us see what's in that bag. We guard the door to the Forest King. Oh yes, we decide who gets to see the king. The Forest King will want to see you. Yes, yes, come this way. A feeling of foreboding overcame Ember. Ember was terrified but tried not to show it. The giant bird spoke softly. Another little Ember. Do not fear. The bird is a friend. Ember wanted to feel safe. Oh, little Ember, birds won't hurt you. Birds will take another under our wing. Stay safe in the nest, you'll never turn forlorn. Ember was still afraid. Is it the night that scares you, little one? See? Birds will make the world less frightening. It wasn't only the night that frightened Ember. The bird was disappointed. Stay? No need to help. Hope is false. Hope hurts little ones in the end. The Forest King spoke. Perhaps they could rest here for a while. It was hard to know what else to say. Clever little Ember. You will stay. You search for hope no more. Now take this feather. Feather means Ember is one of us. Birds keep little ones safe. Birds should never leave the nest. The guards seem pleased. Clever Scruff sticking with us. I can hold that bag for you. Leave them alone, they're one of us now. Yeah, one of us. And we all shares bags and things. The crossroads gate was locked. The guard squawked. Stand back, don't come any closer. Nothing down there but sadness and go see the Forest King. He'll set you straight. Got your first feather, I see. Stand watch here. Promise you won't let anyone pass. Ember didn't like deceiving the birds. But what choice did they have? They couldn't rest in that place forever. They had to keep going. Ember wasn't ready to face the birds again. Hidden away was a scrap of journal. There were memories here, bound in rock. I hear their voices echo in the ancient stone. I find footprints by the cinders, a makeshift camp. Ember hurried away from the birds. The mist hung close to Ember, hiding them. The Forest King seemed frightened, the birds cruel. Ember would rather risk turning forlorn than become like them. Ahead there would be others to help, and maybe a way to move on. Ember found a scrap of journal. I heard them coming. The snap of a twig, a flutter of birds, a figure dashing through the undergrowth. Another like me? The traveler seemed distressed. I'm sure that it's been a while. It's my fault. It looked like a map, but pieces were missing. The piece formed a new route. Hidden inside was the Wanderer's journal. Another face at last. A catcher of fish resting by a pond. We worked together, silk and tar and aching fingers. It was the same place as before. But how? In a haze they said, "You're just going round and round, never escaping." An eerie scene, like a moment frozen in time. Inside was a secret diary entry. Pink, orange, red, brown, leaves gently dancing to the ground. Crunch, crackle, lovely sound, fall into a giant mound. gradually more of the map was revealed. The fog was so blinding, Ember was turned around. A section of bridge had somehow been ripped from its foundations. It was like the map had been broken on purpose. The mist revealed a secret place. Was it hidden on purpose? The stranger spoke. I said some things, and now I'm lost. But it's too late. The skeleton looked peaceful. Held tightly in its hand was a red feather. The skeleton held tightly in its hand was a red feather. The statue spoke. Just as it once moved, the instrument you now hold has the power to move the world around you, another before you, to great effort to hide it deep within this riddle. The lanthorn began to glow. A lost message was inside. The mist is thick. One way blurs into another. Where do I end? Where does the world begin? I cannot see far enough to tell. The skeleton looked peaceful. Held tightly in its hand was a red feather. The skeleton held tightly in its hand was a red feather.